Hey, so in this video I show you how to make a cooked mettwurst, which is spreadable and can be preserved. On the meat side I'm using pork belly and pork shoulder. And on the spice side, salt, cure and black pepper. Then some coriander seeds, allspice and paprika, and mace and garlic powder. As you can see, super simple ingredients. The process is a bit different because it's not a cured sausage, but a cooked sausage. But yeah, you will see how that works. First, cut the meat into strips or cubes that fit into your meat grinder. And then we need to pre-cook the meat so the sausage gets spreadable later on. For that, I'm using a plastic bag and a sous vide cooker. However, you can also do it in a pot. The first step is to cook it at around 76 degrees Celsius, which is 169 Fahrenheit, for around 1 hour. If you do this without a bag directly in the pot, then please weigh the meat before you put it in, because it will lose some water and we need to re-add this water back to the sausage later on. If you cook it in the bag, you will see that the meat juices will stay in the bag and we can just get them out, so no extra weighing needed. Yeah, but both methods work fine, so just use what you have and you will be fine later on. In the meantime, you can grind the spices. Depending on if you want a super fine sausage or a coarser sausage, you can also grind the spices super fine or coarser, completely up to your taste. Once the meat is cooked, we can separate the meat juices from the meat itself, and that's what I said in the beginning. As you can see, this is the amount of liquid we need to add back into the sausage, otherwise it will become too dry. And then you can grind the meat through once. If you want to make a finer sausage, use the smallest perforated disc, otherwise the medium one is totally fine. Add the spices and mix everything well. Again, if you want to have a super fine sausage, you can put it into a food processor and let it mix. But for me, this type of consistency is fine. The next step then is to put it into jars. Just make sure that there's little to no air trapped inside. And then put the lids on. And once they are ready, you can use the preservation method you like most. I'm cooking the jars at 100 degrees Celsius, which is 212 degrees Fahrenheit, for 2 hours. If you use a pressure cooker, this will change. And afterwards you can let them cool down. And as you can see here, you just made a super nice spreadable cooked mettwurst. As you can see here, texture is awesome. And then taste-wise, of course, it does not have the cured meat flavor of like a cured mettwurst. However, this one is pretty special on its own. If you like this video, below the full recipe, and give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.